Hey guys, so this is a repaint and a modified XM White Magneto. As you can see at the box is the XM White Magneto. If you've seen my previous video, this statue actually leaned before and it wasn't repairable. So XM sent me a new one. Now, the second one they sent, there was a problem with the portrait. So XM sent me another portrait. And then the one they sent, a whole new statue, leaned again over time. And this time, the X at the back of White Magneto couldn't be repaired. I didn't make a video about it, but I did tell XM, but unfortunately XM doesn't have any more spare parts to be sent, so I have this disassembled for a while and kept in a box until I finally found the time and the modder or painter to use to actually get this statue fixed. It's actually not the White Magneto anymore that much. I think it was heavily modified, especially the base. And now we're gonna unbox it, but we're gonna unbox the smaller one first since I'm a bit worried. As you can see, the box is a bit smashed and I'm definitely worried because it might come broken, and if it does, I'm just gonna have a local guy fix it. So for now, let's start the unboxing since I'm quite thrilled to see this one. Hopefully all is well. There's a lot of bubble wraps here. Okay, portrait is here. I think all the other portraits for the XM White Magneto is at home, so I'm gonna get that next time, but you'll see that in this video. Okay, we have the cape. It's actually quite hard to unbox. Okay, so the good thing is the cape did not break. So this is what this XM White Magneto looks like now. It will no longer be floating, it will be museum type, obviously. So the cape is just simple, it's just falling down, some folds, some stuff here. But let's see the other stuff first. So all the modded stuff are here, and I think the legs will be here, I guess. My biggest problem with XM White Magneto, besides the leaning obviously, is that the base is too big and actually doesn't fit my collection all that much. So I really wanted to convert it somehow, and this is the result of that. It became a much more simpler base, a museum type actually. It has this mesh type details here. Oh, actually one of the nuts broke off. I think I could just glue this in, and we have this Magneto Chrome logo. So the other part was here. I can just super glue this, no biggie. And okay, the other stuff is the portrait, which is here. You guys might not like this actually, but don't worry since I still do have the original ones. This is the broken portrait that I mentioned earlier. I just wanted to do some black out portraits. So we'll see how that goes, and this is what it looks like now. So it's blacked out with some bluish whites on the eyes. It's not the best, I would say, but like I said, it's really broken when I got it. So this is just some creative stuff that I want to add. And finally, let's unbox the big box. I don't think there's anything much in here except for the base, the original base. I think this still will have that black original packaging of XM. And I'm right, it still has it. This is gonna be hard to unbox. Let's see if we could pull this out. Okay, thanks June for helping. We just need to find the legs. I just realized that we also don't have the arms for Magneto. I just also realized, how do I key Magneto in? I think the cape are the ones that's going to hold Magneto. Okay, so Magneto is here. He will not key to the base. He will be just floating, and I guess the cape is the one who's gonna hold him. Hopefully that's fine. The cape is big enough. So Magneto will still key the waist with this thing, the belt buckle that will hold him in place. So Magneto will be just standing here like this. Yeah, it's actually really steady. It will wiggle, I mean all statue does. And we have the left arm, and finally the right arm. Okay. So there you go. We have completely assembled the museum type Magneto. I think it's a bit scary to display him like this. I might super glue or add some resin or whatever to glue the cape to the base permanently. I mean, no one's gonna buy this anyway for me. I will keep this most likely since nobody might want this museum type Magneto. They might prefer the original one. Here we go. Okay, let's do some measurements real quick for this XM White Magneto. The height now for this Magneto is 21 inches tall, 14 inches wide, and 10.5 inches deep. A very big improvement in my case from the original dimensions of the XM White Magneto. I am a museum type statue collector after all. So let's talk about engineering first before we go to the review section of the statue. From the original XM White Magneto, Magneto is hanging via his cape to the X metal beams at his back. So what we did was we removed that part of the cape and added a custom cape simply draping down to the floor. The cape is also the one holding Magneto to the base, and nope, it's not by magnets or by keys, it just sits there. Also, if you can see, Magneto's feet are still on a levitating type of pose, but it's actually touching the base. That also prevents the statue from falling down to its front. So if I remove the base, the statue will fall down. Obviously, I'll have to get this modified again by a local repair guy in the city so that the cape will key to the base or whatever somehow. What I can say is it is pretty sturdy and stable, so I'm not really worried about it right now. I'm honestly much more worried with the new Magneto I unboxed last week. Anyway, let's get to the review. As for the concept, it's pretty obvious that I just converted the original big base to this museum type base. Magneto is still floating, but not as much as the original one. In case you're wondering why I did this, it's not because I'm a museum type collector, but this statue actually leaned twice. Yes, twice. More than one. And I'm getting pretty tired of it, and I didn't like it that way anyway. It was an easy convert to do, so why not? Also, the base is wrapped with this mesh type metal just so it's not so boring with the simple black base. I could still remove it if I wanted to and just have it plain black. I do love how this mod turned out, and I'm loving this white Magneto even more. As for the sculpt and paint, it's pretty much the same since it was not repainted. However, the cape is new. I would say it's not the best, as I can see some bubbles there on the cape. There's actually a crack, but it's not that visible, and I would say tolerable, so it's fine by me. The quality is more than I expected actually, so I'm pretty happy with that. The portrait is also an addition. I do still have the original portrait with the face and all. This is just a test. Anyway, it's not my favorite and will most likely, I will just use the original mask or unmasked portrait. The additional resin added to the face make it looks like there's not much space from the face to his helm, which make it look bad in my opinion. It might look okay in some angles, but I'll just use the original one since I'm going to bring this home anyway and the switch outs are there. Sculpt and paint has always been fantastic on this Magneto. It's just that this is not the OG Magneto, that's why people pass on this. But if you are a Magneto completist, which means you want all variants of Magneto, then of course this is a must-have. The mod of course is not a must-have, and I would say might be too extreme, but maybe it is for some people who lives in hot places, so the statue will not lean like mine. I actually displayed him in a pretty cool area, but it leaned twice, so I have no idea why it keeps leaning. Anyway, I will rate the overall mod and the statue an 8. It's the only white Magneto I want to own. The base just made it a lot more sexier in my opinion. Great sculpt and paint from XM Factory. The engineering could have been better, but it's stable enough for me not to worry. So what do you guys think of the modification I made for this XM White Magneto? Let me know in the comments below. If you are looking for something else to watch, you could check out my video of me destroying this XM White Magneto to get a replacement. This is Carl, and see you in the next one.